Thank you to Kalshi for sponsoring Mets Daily. Use code FanArtsBaseball to get $10 when you trade 10. Thank God for the New York Knicks because the Mets tried to fool us. They tried to tease us and said, oh, we won a series against the Angels. Look at this. We won a series against the Rockies. And then they got their ass kicked by the Diamondbacks, losing 2 out of 3 to end the road trip. To end the road trip at a measly 5-4. Yippee! Yippee! What does that come out to? 15-25. And you see the tweets, you see the standings. The Mets own sole possession of the worst record in baseball. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of this team, this manager who continues to not get held accountable. And then he puts Andy Ibanez accountable. Andy Ibanez should not be playing. Andy Ibanez should not be playing third base, mind you. So, guys held accountable so far this season, by the way. The replay guy, Harrison Friedland, and, guy rarely plays third base. I don't know why there's birthday emojis. No one's freaking birthday. Happy belated Mother's Day to my mother. No birthday. And 2, Andy Ibanez. He held the replay guy and the scrap heap guy playing third base accountable this season. That's 2. We got the counter at 2 on Carlos Mendoza holding people accountable. I mean, listen, it's obvious the offense stinks. Stern's moves haven't worked. I would just like to see some accountability and to keep the manager safe and all. It's just he clearly has lost this locker room. It's very clear, guys. It's very clear he's lost this team. So to keep trotting a manager out there who's not back next season anyway, the Phillies have shown life since firing their manager. It worked for them. And listen, Don Mattingly is a lot more of an experienced guy than anyone the Mets have filling in potentially if they move on from Mendoza. But I got to see a change at this point. This team's been floating around that 10-game under 500 mark for weeks now. They've been rock bottom for weeks. Nothing has changed. And I'm almost getting sick and tired of the too early thing. And I'm in the too early boat because I don't think it's over. But, we're, what now? 40, 80, 120, 160. We're just about 25% of the way through the season. We are a quarter of the way through the season. And this team has shown no life that they're going to be any good. And that's alarming. I think 25% of the way of the season is enough of a sample size based on the second half collapse last year to say, you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure about this team. And, enough is enough with these guys. 1, stop with David Peterson. Bullpen, starter, doesn't matter. It does not matter. Get him off the team. David Peterson is an expiring contract. He's not coming back anyway. You're at a point where you either DFA him or trade him. He has no value to the Mets right now. I'm sorry, he does not. Starter, reliever, doesn't have value. He's not helping them. I'd much rather see someone like a Wenninger out there. They try to do this opener thing and see if it works. Listen, he wasn't dreadful on Sunday, but he wasn't good again. And he's not been good at all this season. He's lost his confidence, just like Mania, both them. Just shot right now. Maybe losing Hefner is part of it. I don't know, but it's bad. 2, stop with Andy Ibanez. The guy has 0 hits so far. There's a reason he was cut. He's got nothing. I get the move to pick him up. It wasn't a bad move to pick him up off the scrap heap because you have all these injuries, but he's not any good. Stop starting him. And what are you doing putting him at third base? I mean, he makes 2 terrible throws and routine plays, as Mendoza called them. The first player this season he held accountable, guys. Andy Ibanez. Who had that on their Mets bingo card for 2026? Stop with Austin Slater. Stop with Austin Slater and hitting third. I've talked, I'm not going to keep beating this drum, but the analytical thing with the lefties and the righties, because Rodriguez, who shut him down. By the way, the last time Rodriguez went 8+, went into the 9th inning, who was it against? The Mets. When he was at Detroit. Shocker. Merrill Kelly looking like Greg Maddux on Saturday. Ryan Nelson shutting the Mets down, and then they got to the bullpen, thankfully, and won the game. I mean, these bum starters just pitching gems against this team full of 4A players. Enough Austin Slater. And then finally, this is a guy who's probably not going anywhere, but I've seen enough. Years. We're not talking about games with Slater and Ibanez. Years of Tyrone Taylor. Listen, Tyrone Taylor made a fantastic play in center field. He's a great defensive player. No one is denying Tyrone Taylor's defense. But can we upgrade offensively? The problem right now is this team cannot hit. And as much as everyone in the clubhouse likes Tyrone Taylor and he's a good defender, he offers nothing offensively on a consistent basis. He'll have a homer here and there, a double here and there. The guy's hitting below the Carlos Mendoza line. He's hitting 197. He's not good at the plate. And you have a multi-year sample size. I know he comes from Taylor, Milwaukee, and the Stearns camp. But my goodness, can we do better? Can we ask for more? Can we ask for better players? You got a $380 million payroll, and you have a lineup with Ibanez, Slater, Taylor. There's games where Brujan's out there. Now, he's barely started, thankfully, but you can't keep trotting these players out there. You can't keep doing it to us. It's just not fair to this fan base. And now they return home. You know, they got away from the Boo Birds, but they're coming back. The Mets luckily have an off day today, but they come back tomorrow. And if they get trounced by the Tigers, who are better than they are, the Boo Birds are back, and the pressure's back on. So they better use this off day to find themselves, man, because they have not. They won 2 series against 2 teams that are, going to probably end up worse than them in the Rockies and Angels, and then could not hit a lick on Saturday and Sunday. And Friday, it took a free base runner. The gifted runner at second for the Mets to win on Friday. And then they did nothing Saturday and Sunday. Just anemic. Well, Kalshi is not anemic. Oh, God. Baseball season is here. And now you can trade every game on Kalshi. The Mets, they're trading at 2% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade now. If you want to get it now might be the time. If you really believe the Mets can turn this damn thing around, now is the time to get them because you will cash out. $100 will win you close to $4,000. Today, we'll go with a different matchup for the specific game. The Orioles trading at just 39% to beat the Yankees. So if you put 100 on the Orioles, you'd win $245. It would pay out at $245 if they win. You can pick on any MLB market. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position for a limited time. Download the Kalshi app and use code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. Because we're talking about trade, let's go with that first. We're going to go back to Ewing and Clifford and go to Freddy Peralta trade. What about that? Now, listen, it's only May, and there's already rumors that the Cubs are interested in trading for Freddy Peralta, and maybe the Mets could be interested in trading him. I'm not a fan, guys. I get it. He's a one-year rental, but I think this is just you traded 2 top 5 prospects to get Freddy Peralta. And listen, you have Tobias Myers for a couple years for free, essentially, which is nice. But now the Aura King, the guy you did all the videos on with your spring training and the smiles and everything Freddy Peralta brings, now you're talking about trading him already? I get it. You trade him now, you can still sign him in the offseason as a free agent. You can get prospects for him for a couple months. You can retool a little bit. I don't hate it, but like the optics it sends, now I'd be shocked if it happened this early, but the optics it sends to a rotation that's already losing pitchers to either injury or skill by the minute, mostly skill in Manaea and Peterson, and Senga to injury and skill for Senga as well. I mean, it's hard for you to tell me, oh, now we're going to trade him, because then who's throwing? Are you going to go sign, you're going to bring Carl Edwards back? You're going to go sign a guy off the scrap heap to start every 5 days? You're going to start Brosman again every 5 days and patch together something? Brosman, the Meyer. I mean, it's laughable. And I understand the thought of doing it. I just am not a fan of doing it. And maybe I will change my tune if it's July 30th and the Mets are in last place. But to me, to even consider that right now, I'm just not ready to just punt away the season in May. I'm still praying they turn it around. They might not. They probably won't. But, like, doing that now accomplishes nothing for me. You know, it's a conversation we can revisit late July. But I'm not a fan of trading the guy you just traded 2 prospects, top 5 prospects for. Mind you, who have not been great thus far in AAA and the big leagues in Sproat and Williams, but 2 guys that you had high hopes for and who still have high hopes, at least in Milwaukee, to then get rid of him after 2 to 3 months. It's a bad look, and you'd love to see Peralta be part of a team that rallies out of this and goes to the playoffs. So we'll revisit that conversation, but let us know in the comments below. Do you want to trade Freddy Peralta? Do you think that's the wise move? I understand it. I'm just not a fan of it. Follow me at Jake Brown Live. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. We went ultra viral this weekend. If you're not following me, you're missing out. All the content. I was at both Knicks Sixers games in Philly. You know, I live close to there right now, at least for a couple more weeks. And went to both, had a blast, and we basically broke the internet. You know, we got the videos of the Knicks fans celebrating the arena. We got outside the arena, the kids sweeping the Sixers shirt, all the great content live from on site. You know, I've been doing this for years, so people are like, wow, look at you going. I've been doing this for years. I'm an OG in this game. There was no OG Anunoby, but they had OG Jake Brown in the building. And I've been doing this a long time. So this ain't nothing new to me, but it's still nice to, you know, it's not like I did anything crazy. I just was in the right place, right time. But I know what clicks. I know what works. I've had a million of my own viral interviews, so we know how to make noise in this business. And we did it again this weekend. Broke the internet. Every Sports Center, ESPN, Bleacher Report, every sports publication. I got CNN DMing me, like, you know, cut a check. You know, I'm starting to watermark these videos, guys, because I'm not giving you the video without the watermark if I ain't getting something out of it. You're using it to monetize with ads on your channels, and I'm not seeing it. I'm going to figure out a way to watermark or do something because something's got to give here. We got to get paid off of these. All right, back to the other topic we had before. Listen, enough Brujan, enough Ibanez, enough Slater. Let's get Ewing and Clifford here. It's something we talked about. We've talked about already. Ewing is coming around now. You know, Ryan Clifford is coming around. No, I should say Ewing was coming around, went in slump, then had a couple hits on Sunday. Clifford was struggling. Now he's cooking. He's got 7 homers now, 21 RBIs, starting to strike out a little bit less. 252 with a 327 on base. Get Ryan Clifford to the big leagues, man. This is a guy that plays corner outfield, which you need. He plays first base, which you could use. You know, it's pretty easy. Play Clifford at first, DH Vientos, put Soto in left, and Melendez in right. Look, you finally played Carson Bench Sunday against the lefty Eduardo Rodriguez. He got a hit. Look at that. A left-hand hitter could hit a lefty. Can you believe it, analytic nerds? Can you believe it, Mendy and Stearns? Lefties can hit lefties in the modern sport. You ever seen that before? No, you haven't, because you never play them. I'm not going to last, guys. I mean, it's an insufferable product right now. That's what it is. $380 million insufferable product. We'd much rather go down with the kids. We'd rather see Ewing stealing bases, getting on base. Maybe they bring some life. Clifford hitting some long balls. You know, I don't think it's too early anymore. Get them here. The Mets can't seriously look us in the face for much longer, especially now returning home, and tell this fan base who they're hoping buys tickets, which they're trying to put bobbleheads every day of the week now to try to show up. You can't continue selling this fan base. We're going to keep with Ibanez, with Slater, with Brujan. When you have these kids raking in AAA, who I'd much rather see Ewing and Clifford fail here than see Brujan, Slater, and Ibanez fail here. I'm sorry. I'd rather go down with the internal guys, and if they don't work, they don't work. But maybe there's some life bringing them up. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Mets Daily.